Welcome in live to Big East Energy Network, a energy exchange between HoopsCap and the Roll Blob. UConn Xavier just completed their quarterfinal game in MSG. Final score 93-68. I feel like I'm spot on there. I'm not even looking at the box score.
Score doesn't matter. A lot
score didn't matter. Kenny Free, Xavier legend with me. Coop, Cincinnati legend, from what I'm hearing, is with us as well. From Roll Blob. We might have a couple other special guests later in the program. This show is sponsored by Home Field Apparel. I don't know if anyone's rocking any Home Field Apparel. I think I have literally about 27 shirts lying around my office that are all Home Field Apparel. I just happen to rock the Kemba Walker gray jersey in honor of MSG and Kemba and all that. I don't think Home Field will begrudge me that on the show. But if you're new to Home Field, definitely check out homefieldapparel.com. I actually have two Xavier shirts. I have a Roll Blob Xavier shirt from Home Field, and I believe I have what's the light blue one that you guys have? It's like the Running Man.
The Running Man,
yeah. That one I got, and I have 75 other UConn shirts. So definitely check them out. If you use the app for the first time, you get 15% off. And I think our boys at the pod have like a promo code. So if you don't even like DePaul and you want to go 15% off and use the promo code DePod, do it. Let's do it. Anyway, I want to open the program and say, I haven't really been super excited about this Big East tournament, probably because there's been a million other things going on in my life and it's been hard to focus on basketball. But it was so much fun to watch, games yesterday, today. Obviously, UConn playing tonight and Xavier. I know you guys aren't going to take any solace with this, but I really think that you guys have an opportunity in the future to be very good if you can get the type of players that Richard Pitino wants. Because, I don't know, man. I know that you guys had a hard time closing out games this year. I just really enjoyed Xavier as a whole this season. I can't say that about many of the Big East teams this year, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've talked about it. We were talking about it during the game. Xavier's, even this year, you just feel like Xavier's like a guy away. There was Trey and Joe, a lot gets put on them offensively. Phil was, a little bit up and down offensively, but like kind of steady right at that 10 points. Like you just never really knew how he was going to get it. We had some good pieces this year. It was an expedited transfer portal. You're putting together 11 guys. We had one returning player. You're putting together 11 guys, and you have to do it in, like I said, in a short time, with not even close to the resources as the higher teams in the Big East. So I just think that with Pitino having a full offseason, a full transfer portal, really getting the people around him that he wants, I think that you're going to see a different Xavier team next year. And getting some guys to come back, I think, is going to be a big indicator for me in the offseason. Pitino, if he's able to keep some of these guys in-house, hopefully, there's a lot of – I've been joking about it a lot recently, but I think that there's a legitimate path for Filip Borovicanin to get another year. I think he played like 53 minutes in his freshman season.
Okay.
So I think that there's a legitimate chance for him to come back. So, I'm excited to see what they got. You had Pizzato injured the whole year. He was our highest paid player. I think that that's another thing that's kind of overlooked just because it's been a long time since we had the since that news came out at the beginning of the season. But I'm excited to see what he's able to do. And I think that next year is the year that we're really going to see what the Pitino plan is.
Yeah, and I want to bring this up. This is a tweet that I screenshotted from a few days ago. And it's from a great account named Richard Pitino, Attorney of Law. Okay. At Pritchard Retino 69. That's the actual handle. But this is a great point. He says Pitino competed in 85% of Xavier's games with a $5.7 million roster. So we don't know if those numbers are accurate, but saying he's in the bottom half of the Big East, no doubt. So, and then of that 5.7, he's saying 750,000 to $1 million of that was out the whole year. Pizzato, right? Yep. So imagine what he will be able to do with a $10 million budget, improved Jovan next year, healthy Pizzato, and a clear idea of what's needed to win in the Big East. So that's just kind of something to hang on to in this offseason, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't have the money at Xavier this year. We didn't have the roster. We didn't have the experience. It's year one of this whole era. And the team was competitive not against UConn, the 3 games they played against UConn, 90-67 at Centos, 92-60 in Hartford, 93-68 here. But every other Big East team, they were right there with.
Yeah, and I will say this. When it comes to what these teams are shelling out or putting together, I wonder if there's something that could come out that could actually cross-reference all of this. Maybe there will here in the very near future. But before I even with saying that, I think what people need to understand about NIL and rev share, and I may have a little bit of expertise in this field in the respect of understanding why certain teams didn't have the money to kind of push all that out this year, because when we're talking about what was given to these players for 25-26, all of that money was budgeted from the last year. So all of the idea around rev share and Big East teams having more money than football teams, that's not happening until next year. So whether Xavier is allocating those funds of the $21.2 million that is going to be in the cap or not is entirely up to their administration. That's not something I'm privy to. But the idea that they had $21.2 million and would only spend $5 million on basketball is fucking stupid. Just to be honest, like that's a dumb premise because it's Xavier. The thing that you guys love the most, like UConn, is I don't give a shit about UConn football. I'm being honest. Like it's basketball. Like it's just there's no other sport that moves the needle more in Cincinnati than basketball. There's no other sport that moves the needle for us more in the state of Connecticut than basketball. So if you have the money, you spend it. Whether you spend it wisely is another thing. And when it comes to UConn, I asked Kenny this in the pre-show, and I want him to kind of repeat it. I struggle with understanding why this team plays St. John's so well. But because the way I look at Xavier against UConn is the matchup doesn't favor them for a couple of reasons. Because first off, you have Terrace Reed in the middle and you have no one that can stop him. So that puts you at a disadvantage from the start. Even if he's not having a good game, he's still a presence. Right. You still have to account for him. And then on top of that, you have the ability to shoot the ball. I don't feel like Xavier's ever like going to be the most physical team in the world, at least this version of it. And that plays into UConn not feeling uncomfortable from the start. Like when they play St. John's, they look like a completely different team because St. John's plays them so tight. It's like they get uncomfortable from the jump and they feel super comfortable against Xavier. So why does Xavier play St. John's so tough and then others just kind of struggle against them?
Yeah. I mean, so like I said before we were on the show, we as a Roll Blob podcast group have been talking about this since before the final seeding of the tournament for the Big East tournament came. I would have much rather played St. John's at MSG in the second round than to play UConn. And the reason for that is not that I think that St. John's is a bad team, but I think that St. John's is a good team in a different way than UConn is a good team. UConn is very technically good. You have so many guys that are able to spread the floor. Obviously, Terrace Reed in the middle, and like he's a beast. And I think that he's comparable to Zuby, right? So I think that they both have that big inside presence, and that's something that Xavier doesn't deal with well and hasn't all season. But the problem for me, and I think that this is a big thing, is that Xavier we are not the best defensive team. So UConn is able to, they have so many good shooters. Like, I mean, one specific thing just pops out to me. And I was tweeting or texted about it in our group. It was like, I think that it was like a 16-point game. And, Xavier was on like one of these little mini runs that they went on in the second half where you were just like, okay, well, maybe if they can get a couple stops and hit a couple big shots, all of a sudden it's an 8-point game, a little game pressure gets on them at MSG and we'll see what happens. But you have, I can't even remember who the UConn players were because I was so focused on the Xavier players, but somebody drove.
Keep going.
Oh, it's all right. Somebody drove with their left hand from the top of the key, and Trey jumps all the way in to help and leaves a wide open shooter out there. You guys have people that can shoot. Like when Mullen shoots the ball's going in. Like I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I know that when I've watched them play, it's just like the dude's automatic. I mean, they have 3 or 4 guys that it feels like that. And then, it's just like all of the screens and all of the things that you have to deal with on defense. It's just a different game. When St. John's plays you, all they're trying to do is speed you up. They're just trying to speed you up and get offensive rebounds and play more physical. And Xavier was able to handle that a little bit better than just an onslaught of offense for 40 minutes. And I think that's like, they're just completely outmatched from a technical skill standpoint. When you're playing UConn, when you're playing St. John's, your biggest worry is, are we going to turn the ball over 40 times tonight?
Yeah, no, it's a great assessment. That's why you played the game.
Right.
And some of us didn't. I will say this right now. This might be the greatest photo in the history of podcasting. Look at Cap right now. Did Xavier tweet this out? Is that what he's saying?
This is Xavier University tweeting out Cap, who's wearing a Roll Blob pod shirt that says rainbow.gif and is doing the whole Rambo gif in real life. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's our boy right there.
That's our boy.
That's too funny, man. I fucking love Cap.
Cap is nothing if not a showman.
He is a showman. I won't lie to you.
But no,
but like, to me, I think for going forward, fearless leader. Sorry. I think for me, the thing that I enjoy about, I don't feel uncomfortable watching those games like with UConn and Xavier, and that to me is partly because I feel like I saw it in the chat. I don't think Richard Pitino has figured out like a way to slow them down. So in the games, and listen, Richard's a good coach, but he's still young and he's still figuring out like what he wants to do, and he's pretty damn good at it.
It's crazy to say that he's young because this is like his 15th season.
I was about to say it's like his 10th job.
Right.
But you know what? But that's how this coaching profession is, man. You start early, and then you get I think a lot of these guys sometimes fall into like an interim position, and then you're the head guy, or you just get hired, and then let's face it, dude. Like it's not a bad thing to say this, and I don't think anyone's going to take offense to this at Xavier. Is if you're the son of Richard Pitino, and you've coached under a few different folks, and you've learned from your dad and others, there's a higher likelihood you're going to get hired and get more chances. That's just the facts of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like this was the big thing before the season. Like this is not a case of nepotism. Like this dude, like I said, this is his 15th year. He obviously was in a very difficult position in Minnesota. And then he takes over at New Mexico and turns that into a program that people can be proud of. And now he gets a chance to take a step up to the Big East, which he's been very clear about the fact that he wanted that. And I've had this conversation multiple times over the years, and especially this season, I think that Pitino is, if he's really willing to like kind of dig his heels in and take time to bring Xavier back to where they are or where they want to be. Xavier is a good job. Xavier they have a good fan base. They have a good arena. They have a good history. Like, they just need somebody to come in and be the guy that's going to take them to that next level. And then all of a sudden, money's not a problem. Winning solves a lot. Like if you can win, you're going to get the money. And he's shown that with like everything that we've talked about, being down Pizzato, being down in NIL or rev sharing this year, he was still able to come out and put together a half decent season, win a game in the NCAA or win a game in the Big East tournament, and they also win the shootout. Like, for me, if you gave me that at the beginning of the year, I'm taking it. For a first-year coach with a guy that's bringing in 11 new guys, I'm taking it. And like obviously it's frustrating not to see Xavier in the NCAA tournament again, because that's not the standard that was set when I was there. But these are two completely different eras with just completely different sets of rules and everything. So it's just I think that there's a bright future ahead for Pitino and for Xavier if we're able to find that mainstay coach in Pitino.
And I think a lot of it not to kind of repeat myself again, but if this is the floor for him and the floor for maybe even Xavier as a program, I'm not trying to, be insulting or anything, but this is the worst Xavier season that we've ever seen by far. record-wise, right? So if this is the floor and you're still competing with those teams and you're having a 500-ish type of season for most of it, then yeah, like he's definitely going to be good. So I don't know. I'm excited just to follow this off season with the portal, who he's able to get, and just start focusing on next year really. But I think they've got the guy, man. I really do.
Yep.
Well, much has been made about Dan Hurley and like his. I hate saying the word antics because it makes me sound disingenuous, but like his demeanor on the sidelines. My favorite moment of the game is when you guys made a little run and it was 61-45, and they, Fox loves to pan over to him and just fucking going crazy, and of course like Barstool was like the Dan Hurley crash out at up double digits or whatever. What are your guys' thoughts about that? Like, do you? I mean, I listen. I'm not stupid. I know that Dan Hurley provides clicks for these, for everybody that we talk about, whether it's Fox, Field of 68, like all of the big college basketball outlets are going to use Dan Hurley's face, like going fucking crazy to further, what they're trying to do. And I just want to, from a other fans' perspective, you guys, first off, you guys know me. We've talked behind the scenes. Like, that Dan Hurley's not like a complete asshole. He's just a psycho on the court. Right. So, like, from that perspective, what do you think Xavier's fans' reactions are to him? Do they think he's just mentally ill? Like, what? I'm just curious.
They don't like him. Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can tell you this: we covered a UConn game last year, and we were on the floor kind of right before the game in the student section. And then it carried over to regular fans were chanting,
yeah, fuck you, Hurley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they don't like him, but I don't know. From my perspective, whenever UConn's up big, he's still having these meltdowns, right? It doesn't matter what the score is. But I think if I was a player and I'm starting to kind of get a little bit relaxed, we're up 25. I look over to the sideline, my coach is freaking out. I'm going to lock in. I'm not getting So maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but
I don't know, man. Look, you got an X fan right here.
Oh, that's Ahmad. That's Ahmad. Don't listen to him.
Since he's an Bengals fan,
Ahmad, you're my boy. Don't fucking listen to these guys. Ahmad's in the Roll Blob group chat. He's Ahmad, a huge. You can be. So
here's the thing,
too, dog. Don't worry about.
Here's the thing. I hate Dan Hurley, but I respect the shit out of him. Like the thing is like every time it's easy, like you were saying, like all these other places they use these things for like clickbait and all this stuff, and like, yeah, it's easy to do that because he wins so much. So like anytime you put UConn in anything, it could be Dan Hurley's face, it could be your logo, it could be Caravan. Like there's 1,000 different things from UConn that you could put on that to make those clicks go through the sky, go through the roof. So like obviously they're using that because it's always a big story. Like when he got that technical against Marquette, like the game was over. So, and he knew that. Like, I think that Hurley, like, I think that he has enough control of himself to get thrown out on purpose or to get it technical on purpose. I think that there's more going on in his mind than him just seeing red and losing it. Like, I think there are maybe times that happens, but he controls himself to a point.
Kenny, can you dispel this bullshit that I see on a regular basis about Dan Hurley right here? I don't even know if this is one of your peoples or not, but
Donovan Klingen. Oh no, that's crazy.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, they have, I don't know. The thing is that you're going to have people, and MDK is one of our big watchers, and we talk with him a lot. I think that it's just at a certain point, and I even feel it, dude. Like I'm jealous of it. Like I'm jealous of giving, I'm jealous of the run that UConn's gone on in the years that we've kind of since I became part of Roll Blob, like kind of what we've had at Xavier. And it's frustrating for me because like obviously I never went to a Final Four. I never did any of those things, but like the standard was set at Xavier before I got there, while I was there, and just after I left, the standard was set. And like, I mean, you look at, I want to say my senior year, the only teams to make it to the Sweet 16 as many times as we did in a 5 or 6 year span. It was like Duke and Michigan State, and then us. Like that.
Yeah.
That was what we came to. That's what we came to expect from our teams. And so now when we're in this situation, and it's been a while, and at the end of Steele's era, it was like, okay, it's just going to be a couple years and we'll be back. And then you get Miller and you're like, all right, good. Now we're going to be back. And then he leaves and now we get Pitino and it's like, okay, it's just going to be a couple years and we're back. And that's why I keep saying, like, just give us that guy. Give us that guy that's going to give us 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is, and really build this up, because dude, it hurts me to know that this is the last time that I'm watching Xavier in the 2025-2026 season.
Yeah, no, and what I would say to you is, and I appreciate that. Like to me, I think UConn fans in general, myself included, are spoiled. But I also think it's really important to know that it can all happen so quickly. Like one recruiting class, one transfer portal class, especially in this day and age, can 100% propel you to all of a sudden now you're the brand. And then everybody starts coming over and it starts to snowball. Like,
right.
The infamous, like, you better get us now bullshit like that he did. And I don't mean to call it bullshit, but like, I think at the time, myself included, we were like, oh, like, okay, bud, like, settle down, Spartacus. Like, let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? And to his credit, he called his shot, but like, you don't see that very often. And he talks about it in his book. I'm not trying to be a merchant of that, but like that, like he just like did this, and then he was just like, I guess I got to back it up. Like it wasn't as calculated as some people think. Now, I do think most of his shit is calculated, like the technical that he got, because he knew the game was going to be ending and he knew he has no chance to win. So fuck it. Let's just, because dude, I tweeted it out a minute before the game ended. I said, if I was Dan Hurley, I'd get tossed in this game right now, because they're not going to win. And it would send a message to his team. Like, I don't want to watch this bullshit.
Right.
So, like, because, to your point, if you set a standard, and I think that's part of what UConn fans now that's why when their team is 28-4, like myself, we kind of try to find things to nitpick and to kind of show reasons why they're going to lose early, or
I mean, that's the thing though. You don't have the same goals as everybody else. You don't have the same expectations. So it's like, you guys aren't looking at this like, what do we have to do to win the Big East tournament? Like, what do we have to do to beat Xavier? You guys aren't looking at the season in that tense, like you're thinking about on April 2nd, where's our team going to be? And like, that's not the situation that 98% of teams are going to be in for the majority of the year. So I think that, like, I completely understand that. And I think that there's I don't know. I think that it's like you said, with like how quickly things can be positive from a NIL rev sharing standpoint. I think that things can be equally as fast negative going the opposite way. So like when you guys are in a position where you've won championships and you're looking to get back there again, and you're doing, like, I mean, nobody wants to be like, okay, well, we had that good run, and then, we didn't make the Sweet 16 for 4 years in a row because we feel like, the team wasn't up to snuff or whatever. So I think I think it's natural for fan bases to get like that, and to honestly to do it pretty quickly within a couple years of watching their team win.
Without a doubt. What do you guys like? What's next steps for you guys in terms of like, just like, I know it's tough to end the season. I know it's particularly tough for you, Kenny, because obviously you played, but like Coop and the fan base, and whether Cap will jump on here, I guess, in a little bit. Like, what are the thoughts about this team going forward? Like, what's priority number one? I know you kind of talked about, seeing if you said maybe who's the guy on your team that, Borvichinen, that may have an extra year of eligibility. Is that still up in the air?
Yeah, it's still up in the air. They're still fighting for it. I mean, I've not to, use one of my signature jokes, but I think it's a 50-50 shot, honestly. So if he comes back, he's definitely going to be there. Jovan Milicevic, he'll be back, I would assume. I don't know any of this. This isn't any inside information.
Right.
But, Roddy Anderson also has a year of eligibility left too. So you could bring back those guys. All Right does. No more Trey Carroll, no more Malik Messina, no more. So there's going to be spots to fill, obviously, but I think that's just, all right, who from this year is coming back next year? How can we build around them? And who can we bring in from the portal that's going to take us to the next level? Because, I mean, hats off to Richard Pitino and staff for putting this roster together. Trey Carroll was one of the best one-year players Xavier's ever had, if you look at it statistically. But obviously, no knock on him, no knock on anyone else. It wasn't enough this year. So just finding, the next guys.
Yeah, I think that
Kenny, before you answer, I want to ask you this question based around how you guys are going to, if you're in charge, if you're the GM of this team, are you going more towards, like, how do you think Richard approaches this? More athletes, more size, more skill, all of the above? Like, are you looking for scorers? Like, I'm curious, like, if you were putting together a team right now, what would be like the 2 or 3 guys that you're targeting? Not necessarily names, but like type of players.
No, I mean, I like just like a monster in the paint. Just somebody like, I want somebody that's not afraid to go knock somebody's teeth out. Like that's who I want. I want somebody that we don't have to worry about, a Zuby or a Terrace Reed just like absolutely dominating you no matter what, because you just don't have anything for it. To me, that's huge. I want somebody that's able to do that and be a presence rebounding. I think that that guy can be both of those things. And outside of that, dude, there's so many guys that you can go to, and you can look at this all over college basketball. There's so many guys that you can get that can shoot threes well, that can create a shot for themselves, that can be a commander on the floor. Like there's a lot of guys that you can go do that. The big guy that's willing to be the big guy, that those guys are at a premium right now. And I think that that's somebody that I would really like for Xavier to go get. And then obviously shooting is the name of the game. It's just like, I really liked Xavier's offense this year, just because like it's fun to watch when Xavier's playing well on offense. It was very fun to watch because it's just move the ball, three. Like I wouldn't be and I know that it's not true, but if somebody right now told me that Xavier had more threes this season than twos, I'd believe you. Like we couldn't shoot the ball.
Someone look that up.
I want to say we probably had a better percentage from 3-point range than 2-foot range. So like,
you might be right.
Like, let's just shoot. Let's lean into it. If you're not going to be able to go out and get the guy that you have to pay $3 or $4 million to, that's just like an absolute monster, get to the rim from anywhere, create his own shot, then let's focus on rebounding, focus on interior defense, and then just fill in spots around that. Now I will say, I think that you have a guy in Pop that can be, he's 7'1". He can shoot the three a little bit, but he played like, I don't know, 9 minutes a game, and he was like 4th in the league in block shots, but he's not a very physical guy. So like, I think that there's a lot of different ways you can go, but I would love to have somebody that is just like a true rim protector, that is the enforcer on the team. And then you're going to have your scoring from Joe, from Milicevic. Yeah. I mean, that dude can flat out score the ball. He can shoot the three. He can get to the rim. But then, outside of that, I think that you just have to find guys that can play within Pitino's system. He wants to move the ball fast, get the ball out of the net, get the ball off the rebound, and get to the rim. So I think that those are the two things for me: move the ball fast, protect the rim.
You put that together a lot better than I did when I was speaking with Ahmad last night. I said we need one of the biggest European men you've ever seen in your whole life. So when you look at him, you say, I've never seen a guy bigger. And maybe like a 7'4" white guy that just doesn't take care of himself and only communicates in grunts. That's what I said. That's what we need. And Ahmad said we need 3 of them.
3, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I completely lost my train of thought because you went down a different rabbit hole. now I have no idea what I was gonna ask, but that's okay. I did put the link in the chat. If any of your buddies want to jump on here and ask questions, or anybody that's on here, please feel free. Obviously the link is, you can, I think whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, feel free to jump on and ask us questions or just shoot the shit. what I was going to say was it's interesting that you look at this Xavier team and Patino. I feel like Patino figured that I'm not comparing New Mexico and Xavier. I think Xavier's has a much richer history. But if you look at New Mexico in terms of like what they are, they're the only game in town. Their fan base is absolutely rabid. That home court is a fucking crazy asylum. Very similar to Cintas when it goes crazy, right? So I think Richard looked at it and was like, so a step up, probably a little more NIL than what we're working with here. Let's pivot this to the whole Big East, because I know your guys' season's over. UConn is going to continue. You got Georgetown and Villanova playing. St. John's is waiting on the other side. What are your thoughts for the rest of the Big East tournament?
Oh, UConn's winning it. I'd be shocked if they don't.
Dude, if St. John's can beat UConn twice this year, I would be
Really?
shocked. I honestly, I think that there's, like I said, I think that St. John's has a way of surprising you with what they do. In a third matchup, I think that UConn is going to be used to what they bring to the table, and they just have so much more firepower around them, man. I honestly think that St. John's is going to have a better NCAA tournament than a lot of people think. But I also think that that's kind of it's reliant on the fact that the refs aren't going to call fouls like they don't call fouls in the Big East. Like, I guess is my
It's true.
The way that they play, like they're going to have a friendly whistle, and I think that they're going to make some teams pretty uncomfortable. Guys that because you can only show it so much on film until you go out there and you get punched in the face, and you turn the ball over and then Zuby's dunking on people. Like, you can't really replicate that type of thing in practice with how physical they are. So I think that they're going to catch some teams off guard. But I do think that UConn is going to beat them in the final.
Yeah. Coop, what are your thoughts? Because I feel like a part of our fan base at Connecticut feels like, even though UConn lost like the inexcusable game against Creighton, loses to St. John's, whatever, and then they lose to Marquette, they do feel like, and I agree with this to a certain extent. I still have the mindset of like, if you're kind of undeniable, you beat everybody, like the teams that won championships. But if you're a question mark team, like this team is really good, but we don't know if they're great yet, that kind of thing, they are going to get a better they're going to have more flow when they play outside of the Big East, because these guys have an opportunity. All the coaches in the Big East are pretty good. Even Kim English, to a certain extent, he probably is the worst of the bunch, but he's not much worse than anybody else at the end of the bottom of a league, right? And so all these guys prepare for UConn, and you just don't have that time in the NCAA tournament. So that's part of the reason why UConn has an advantage when they get there. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's part of it? And also, like, Big East and ACC teams, even though I hate to give them credit, typically have better tournaments because they don't really beat the shit out of each other as much as the Big 12 and Big 10 tend to do all year.
Yeah, no, I think I'd probably agree with that. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. Look at what UConn's done in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but as far as like this Big East tournament goes, I'm curious to see how Villanova does if they beat Georgetown tonight, because I kind of feel like Villanova's the team no one's talked about. You know what I mean? Like, I think they should have been ranked more this year. I don't even know if they went into the top 25 at all this year, but what Kevin Willard's done is incredible. I mean, to take Villanova back to, I don't want to say back, but to be that
kind of,
man.
They were. I mean, that was like they're a brand, and they fell off a fucking cliff with Neptune. So that's not wrong to say back. I mean, that team barely was an NIT team with some pretty decent talent.
Right. So I'm curious to see if they beat Georgetown, which I think they should, how that Villanova UConn game goes. But I still think UConn wins it. I think St. John's beats Seton Hall, and we get the blockbuster matchup, Madison Square Garden, St. John's, UConn. But when UConn lost to Marquette, I told Cap, I said, UConn just won the Big East tournament. They're pissed off. They're going into it. They have something to play for. Because if you're just going through your season, you're just beating everybody. Like, yeah, you're expecting to win, but I don't know. A lot of teams play better when there's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, even if it's just made up. They're
Right.
pissed off. They're playing for it.
Yeah.
Dude,
And what's
you
this?
guys got some characters in your fan base. I'll tell you that right now. That's for sure.
It says, I did some research. The only reason Marquette won was because they scored more points. That's right. Marquette beat both Xavier and UConn this year.
They scored more points.
They did.
I
It's
mean,
a little known fact.
Little known fact that even if you're supposed to win, you actually have to, play the game, and then it's not a simulation. As much as the nerd society wants you to believe that computers control everything, us jocks, Cooper, would you consider yourself a jock? Because I definitely think Kenny and I are considered jocks.
At one point, yeah.
At
age 29, I'd say no, but at 19, sure.
You don't consider yourself a jock anymore?
No, I get out of breath going up the stairs. So.
Don't want to get that checked out. Last time that happened to me, I had a stroke like 3 days later, so might want to worry about that. I'm just saying, it's all fun games until you can't speak.
Well, it has to be a lot of stairs. It has to be like 40 or 50.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm also like, I don't know, 15 years older than you, so
yeah,
you still got time.
Yeah,
so don't worry. You got at least a good 10 years left, and then you're fucked. But it is what it is.
Start worrying about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I take my magnesium every day. I should be.
You also look kind of like you're pretty svelte. Like I don't think you had a tire iron belly like I did at that time. So that might have been the cause, is what I'm saying.
Oh, wait till you see me in person, Mark.
I can't wait. Don't tempt me with a good time. Listen, I think for me, the Big East has been like, let's just real quick pivot to Seton Hall. I know this is like a kind of a crazy, like wide ranging live show, but fuck it, right? We're on. Honestly, Seton Hall, you're trying to tell me that they shouldn't have, after all of these teams that are on the bubble, Auburn, Oklahoma, every fucking SEC and Big 12 team that's on the bubble has lost, including your friends from Cincinnati. And so why wouldn't Seton Hall have the ability, after they just won a game against Creighton by double digits, and then now if they beat St. John's and they don't get in the tournament, it's stupid. Like why even play games?
Like, and this is something that, before we were with Big East Energy, we used to talk with, Paul Frischner a ton.
Yep.
Like we would go on his show. We would do his get into his spaces, and something that you hear him talk about a lot when Xavier's sitting on the bubble is that these conference tournaments don't really mean much to the committees. So like, I don't know how much that. Now let me preface this all by saying that Seton Hall 100% deserves to be in over the Bear Kitties. Let's put that out there for sure. I think if Cincinnati makes the tournament, it would be an absolute travesty to the sport.
Yeah.
They're
amongst other
awful.
teams.
Yeah.
Also, Kenny, real quick, I don't know if anyone has the ability to do this. If I had the time, I would do it. Coop, if you have time, maybe there's something you can do. I don't know. I'm not assuming you have all kinds of spare time. Listen, there should be a montage of every coach that talks about their team and why they should be in. Every team on the bubble that lost was like, I don't know if there's another team that's playing as hard as these guys in the country. You know what? I think it's a travesty that, to use your word, that, we would beat, 7 or 10 Big 12 teams and we're not in. Listen, the FSU guy who they just took Duke to the wire. So good, good on them. They're honestly the only team that played Duke close in the ACC at home. And that game was a great game. It was, I was watching it as Xavier and UConn played. Before the game, he was just like, listen, I don't know. At least he said, we shot ourselves in the foot earlier in the year, but he goes, but I don't think there's 25 teams that are playing better than us in the country. So like I want to see that montage of every coach that's on the bubble saying the same fucking shit. They're either going to lose their job or they're just not going to make the NCAA tournament. It just cracks me up.
Yeah. Well, that is a
Miller soundbite from
what's that?
You said something like, you think I'm losing sleep over
this team.
Yeah, right.
Who said that?
Sean Miller.
Oh, well, he's not losing sleep over anything.
I don't know if that was a direct quote or not. I didn't listen to the thing. I just saw the tweet, but I don't know if he was implied.
It was kind of out of context. He was saying that that's not what this year's about. You know what I mean? Like, it's about putting a foundation in place. So. But it was
Dude, there's
somewhat fun.
nothing like what's the saying, like there's no wrath like a woman scorned or something like that. I feel like that's there's no wrath like a Xavier fan scorned.
Yeah, right.
But it's man, I had just getting back to this season and just real quick, like from a Xavier perspective, it was a tough year. It was a lot, sometimes almost unbearable to watch, like losing to Creighton by 50 or whatever it was. I was a little bit happy about that just because that took my loss at Xavier off of the worst home loss of all time. So at least we're not in the record books anymore. But like, I really do think that what Pitino was able to put together and the results that we got, like, am I happy the season's over? No, but relatively, yes. I'm happy with what he was able to do, and I can't wait to see what he does with this offseason.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I think what's going to be interesting is, I'm going to flip it to the UConn stuff real quick, is that regardless of what happens with UConn this year, I'm really curious to see how this fan base reacts, because maybe you guys can shed some light on this as fans, because if Pitino started doing this, let's say you guys, it's a couple years from now and you guys won a national championship, yay, congrats to Xavier. But the following year, you have a team that's ranked in the top 10 or blah blah blah, and he's pumping it up, because that's what honestly happened last year, and that's what's happening with this year. This team is good. Last year's team was okay. But it's Dan who sets the pace for this fan base. He's the Pied Piper. So when he says things like, man, Jaden Ross is playing like a first-round pick last year, right?
Right.
What do the fans think? Well, fuck. He's going to score 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. He puts names on these guys. It's my biggest pet peeve. I love Dan Hurley as a coach. I don't know him personally. He's always been good to me in media availability. So he has never an asshole to media. But what I'm saying to you is he actually acknowledged this. He always compares guys who are greats. So it puts this ridiculous, dude, it'd be like if Richard was like, hey, you know who Pop reminds me of? Fucking Kenny Freeze. You'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make sense. And so I know he's trying to be very complimentary to his players and try to maybe, pump them up in the media. And I know that that's kind of part of it, but he has to understand that this UConn fan base is completely crazy. Yeah. So they just take that and go, well, Braylon Mullins is going to be never going to miss a 3-point shot. And, Solo should never miss. And, we suck if we lose to a Big East team. Like, it's just, he's created the monster by the expectations and because he doesn't ever back down from that. Do you think that's like, healthy for this fan base? Like, do you fucking care? Like, I don't know, like, how to explain it. It's
are you asking me as a player if I would have cared?
Yeah, I guess. Like, if as a player, that's a great question. I'm not a good enough interviewer, I guess, to frame it that way. But like, no, if you were a player, would you care that your coach is comparing you to like the best player that's been there in the last 5 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious.
No, I wouldn't care that my coach is making the comparison, and I wouldn't care that the fans, that I wasn't, like, if the fans don't believe that I'm living up to that, like, dude, there's nothing that I cared less about than negative fans. Like,
you're built different though, right? You just muted yourself.
Yeah, that's because what he's saying is not acceptable to be said on air, I think. Kenny, you're muted, damn it.
Your whole rant is gone, dude. We can't hear anything you're saying. That was great. It was almost like on purpose. Like, you know what? Fans can kiss my, and then it was blah, like, right. Whatever.
No censorship needed. That's the good thing about Kenny. He'll censor himself when he needs to.
Nope. Can't hear you. It literally just says, I see it up. Oh, there we go.
I think he's back.
Are you back?
I don't know what happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you literally were about to say there's nothing I could care less about than negative fans, and then you went dark, and then Cooper's like, well, you muted him because he's probably saying some shit that he shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, no, but honestly, it's like I think that there's fans in general think that they have a lot more like sway and power over the psyche of a player. And, you know, to some extent they're right when you're talking about players that are, you know, kind of mentally weak, I guess. But it's just like, I couldn't have cared less about it. I mean, do you think that I shot like 57% from the free throw line for my career. Like, what are you going to say? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I
suck as a free throw shooter is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I do. But like, but a fan telling me that, it's like, okay, well,
that's okay.
I scored 1,100 points. I played in the most games in Xavier history. I went to 3 Sweet 16s. Like, what did you do? You sat on your couch and watched me.
That's correct.
So,
and you know what's funny is can I tell you this? What's crazy is I remember, I couldn't even tell you the game, but I remember being on a treadmill because I was playing competitively tennis right at that time when you were playing, and I was literally watching a game that you were on, and I was like, I remember like looking at your name and being like, that's a fucking cool name. Like I remember like running on the treadmill and being like, that motherfucker's got a cool name. Like I just remember it. Yeah. So it's crazy. But yeah, no, I think what's interesting though is like you might as well played in the 1980s because when you played and what's going on now is totally different.
Yeah, it's 100%. And I think that there should be some more onus on the player to be a little bit more public with their compensation. I think that I think this whole thing about like protecting athletes and all this stuff from the public eye, maybe like it was like we were a little bit more sheltered from a media standpoint. But I do think that you're talking about professional basketball players now. Do I think that a player should get like upset that a fan doesn't like the way that they're playing or doesn't like their performance? No, absolutely not. I don't, whatever. But you, at the same time, like you have to, put your big boy pants on, act like you're a professional basketball player and go out there and own what you got. If you're making $1 million a year and you're scoring 3 points a game and you're barely coming off the bench, like, I mean, you need to own that within yourself. But they're kind of protected by by this. I don't know if it's just the teams not wanting to let the information out or what, but
who is that? Is that Cap?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's got the home field on finally.
Let's go. How do we get him on here?
We got somebody with home field.
Let's add him to the stage. Dude, are you on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got to get you on screen though. Hang on. I got you. Keep talking.
I got a face for radio, boys. Lot to talk about from MSG. Lot to talk about. You guys see his home field apparel, boys.
The home field looks great.
I absolutely love it. So talk to us about I'm going to get you on screen here in a second, but talk to us about the experience, Big East Energy Network at MSG.
Well, in a second, because no one else will be able to hear him besides us.
That's not true.
No, he's added to the stage. He's just not on camera.
His video, but we can hear his audio.
Okay, gotcha. He's on
Don't dream on my dream, Coop.
Hey, don't do what?
Well, Mark, I think the first thing I need to bring up is I just talked to your boy Dan.
Oh yeah, how did that work out?
So literally, here's the exchange. He's walking out of the locker room because I did a 67 feet with Cap, 94 feet with Billis. I did a 67 feet with Cap with our best friend Phil Borovichinen. And so that ended. And so the UConn guys were in the presser. And so I'm just waiting out the door because I know I'm going to see all of them come out. And I'm like, Mark would love it if I just say something to Dan. So Dan walks out. I literally say, hey, Dan, thanks for the ass kicking. And he laughed and goes, you're welcome. And then I'm like, who day? He goes, you're welcome. And then I'm like, who day though, right? And he's like, oh yeah. And he just starts going off about the Bengals. Like hyped as hell about the Bengals. And I'm like, I'm not listening to that essay. And he just walks off this, he's still going off about the Bengals. Like that was my exchange with Dan Hurley, which was awesome. And then in the interview, Casey was telling me that someone named their dog Hurley. And so he was messing with the kid because the kid, he was like, what kind of dog is it? And the kid like tells him. And then Dan like, I had a dog like that once. It died. And then walks out of the press conference like, dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon. Dude, it's been so fun. Obviously, Xavier lost, but UConn is incredibly good. And it's just, dude, I'm a kid in a candy store. I feel like I'm like on drugs, guys. Like I'm just out of my mind.
There he is.
There he is.
So, hello. So that is my my brief synopsis.
I know you did the walk with Phil, and it's on the Roll Blob Instagram story right now, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. What did you discuss with Philip Borovichinen, who may or may not have played his last college game?
Well, Coop, this is for you. Baseball was mentioned.
Okay.
Phil the Hill, F-I-L, Phil the Hill. So I got him to say Phil the Hill at the end, but I essentially just asked him how the season had been, and I did go in the locker room and talk to Trey and talk to Phil, and he's hyped about that next year, though. I mean, you can tell, like, he was all in about getting another year of eligibility. Like, and it seemed like from the way we talked about it, like he might expect it.
Okay. Yeah,
so that was big. You heard it here first. And then Trey, I did want to bring up Trey because, like, I feel like most guys, at least in my experience with TBT and being around basketball, after they lose, I feel like a lot of guys are kind of on the next play. I don't know if Kenny can relate to that, but it depends on the guy. But a lot of times after a loss, I feel like a lot of guys are, ready for the next thing, whatever. Trey was not like that at all. Like, everyone was just kind of like getting their stuff and whatever. And I tried to talk to Trey real quick and just say, hey, man, great season and stuff. And just trying to, make it light. And all he was talking about was like, nah, bro, like this meant everything to me. Like, Xavier meant everything to me. It's like he couldn't talk about anything but like not putting the Xavier jersey on again, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help but notice that Trey Carroll is, first off, he's a fucking beast. Like, I enjoyed watching him play this year, and as a guy who is follically challenged, I really enjoyed watching those locks, that head of cabbage just go up and down the floor. I remember my wife was like, "How does he play like that?" Like, she's like, "I don't even have hair that long." So I don't know, man. Like, that's just so cool. I'm happy for him. He had a great year. Led the Big East in scoring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a monster matchup nightmare. I hope he finds a place either in Europe or can kind of make a team in a two-way situation with the NBA. I know Kenny and I had that conversation off air. But I don't know, man. Like, what were your thoughts? Like, overall, what's the atmosphere like? Because I've been to a Big East tournament, been to a Big East media day. My guy Danielle Marshall got some love at I forget whatever, like, media timeout.
That was cool.
I had a conversation with one of his best friends who's a coach at Newberry College. So shout out Coach Marcus Kirkland down there. He literally told me that he just had a conversation with Danielle Marshall. And I said, tell Danielle that the last time I was at a game, the last time I went with my dad was in 1994, and it was March 11th. It was yesterday. And how many years ago that was? I was 13. So 23 years ago, 33 years ago. I was 13 years old, and Danielle scored 42 points against St. John's and broke the tournament record for points in the game. So that dude was an absolute fucking monster. And by the way, one of the most soft-spoken, just like ho-hum dudes. Oh, I'm 6'10", I can dunk on your face and give you 50. Like, he was just like just a different animal.
Yeah. That just goes to prove like how many guys UConn has, because I feel like when you think of like UConn legends, like Danielle's not the first guy to jump off, and it's like most schools would be like, oh yeah, we had Danielle Marshall. It's like, oh my god, it's super cool. But I did think of this: if you really mean that about Trey Carroll's hair, I'm sure for a small fee he would shave it off and give it to you.
I mean, I just want a little bit of it, dude. There's no way, dude. This beard is warm. It keeps me warm enough. Like, it's getting warm down here in North Carolina.
Mark, so I'm not going to lie. You're leaning into that LeBron fade. It's
so good, right?
It's growing on me. I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to tell you right now, shout out my boy Rod at Kingdom Cuts in Greensboro. Whenever I come in, he's like, what's up? First off, he calls me Roethlisberger. He's like, what's up, Roethlisberger? So that's the first thing that happens. And then he goes, we doing that LeBron fade? I was like, hell yeah, dude. I was like, make sure you tell him who coined that phrase. He was like, this motherfucker coined the LeBron fade. Like, because there's no hair. It's just, I literally should just let it go, but my wife likes it. So
you were way more bald when I met you than you are now.
Really?
Yes, dude. You were a straight up bald dude. Like, I could look at you now and be like, he's not bald.
But it's the LeBron fade. That's why he does that.
I know. You owe him some money. I don't know what you're paying him, but it's not enough.
I don't owe. Listen, I pay Rod well. Rod gets paid, but LeBron. The only thing I mimic about LeBron is his fade. Like, I will not fall on the ground and grab my elbow, my neck, my back. I will not do that. But hey,
Rodman does fades. Rodman gets paid. Yep, there's something there.
Exactly.
But what if we, what's on your guys' mind, or what else you guys want to talk about?
Man, we're 54 minutes in, Cap.
Dude, I was shocked because like I was going back to listen to the show and hear what you guys talked about, and I was like, they're still alive. I was like, let me just see what's up here. But it's been a who's who. It's been like Coop always says, my life feels like a fever dream. And that's what this has been the last 48 hours. Like, so I worked out this morning. I dragged Casey to the gym.
Did
I
you?
go down,
Good.
yeah. And me and Casey get downstairs and we're dead. Like I drug him to like the worst Planet Fitness in Manhattan. It's the worst hole in the wall Manhattan Planet Fitness. And like Billy Blue Jay is in the lobby of our hotel, like at 7:40 in the morning. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, wipe my eyes, like, is that Billy Blue Jay? And I just like pat him on the head, like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Blue Jay mascot, like it's just like it's too much almost. This is like Disney World for a Big East fan.
Yeah. Kenny, I have to ask you this question. Does Coop look like Alex Caravan?
We had this conversation
Dude,
today.
I get this all the time.
Yeah, we had this conversation in a podcast one time. I mean, I don't really see it. I think there was one picture that was like, okay, well, yeah, that makes
From a certain angle. Yeah.
yeah, and I think Coop would have to get rid of a lot of his hair too.
I actually
Someone
think
else
Alex
said
Caravan.
that in the chat today that I look like him.
I actually think Alex Caravan looks like Coop.
To spread the love.
Yeah, just stir the pot. Stir in the pot.
Coop doesn't look like Alex Caravan. Alex Caravan looks like Coop.
That's right. You're damn right.
That actually makes sense.
And my mom used to drive a Dodge Grand Caravan.
Well, I mean, that seals the deal. We have a Kenny equals Seth Rogen comment.
I heard that one before.
I've been hearing that. So that was actually my profile picture when I was in college.
Yeah?
Really?
Me, a picture of me with a picture of Seth Rogen side by side.
That's cool.
Go ahead. No, Cap, go.
This is a marketing idea. Do you remember the Kevin James meme that went really popular? He's like,
yeah.
Can I do one of those in like home field gear? Do you think they'll like pay me to do a photo shoot of just me in those jackets? Like,
do it. Yeah, absolutely. Can you get back on? Can you get back on the MSG court and do it?
I was going to say you're going to have to get on the court. That's the only way that works.
Home field jacket, tidy whities, and I'm just like,
you should lay down in the middle of the floor in that Big East tournament and just like,
tell them you have a media pass. You got to get to the floor.
I do.
Xavier University tweeted you today.
It's okay. I have a media pass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a limo driver.
Who took the picture of you that Xavier you retweeted or tweeted?
Oh my gosh, dude. This is what's crazy, bro. Is like I literally just had an idea for Casey. Like, the Rambo gift. I was like, Casey, will you just record me? I was gonna make a home field, headband out of this jacket. I'm wearing my Rambo.gift shirt. And I was like, Casey, will you just make a stupid video of me like doing this? And I'm facing this way. And then two guys walked behind me. I've never met them before, but they're from Xavier. And they're like, they recognize me from the back. They're like, ah. I'm like, I don't know you guys, first of all. They run the Xavier University Twitter account. And they were like, can we get a video of you for Twitter? And they're like, what do you want me to? I'm like, I was going to do this Rambo thing. Do you guys want to do that? I'm like, that's awesome. And so they recorded, like, we're getting this out now. And then that's how it happened. Okay, I guess I have a very recognizable back of a headband. I guess.
Yeah, I would say don't say that you're recognizable from the back anymore. I don't know why that didn't sit right with me.
Stop saying that.
I wish you had told me that offline.
Kenny is. Have you ever heard? Not to go on a tangent, but because now that Kenny looks like Seth Rogen, I've been told that my voice when I laugh sounds like him too. So, what the fuck did he say? Oh, anyway, no, I was saying that Jason Segel talks about when he showed Judd Apatow his Dracula musical from Sarah Marshall, and he said, and Judd Apatow was like, you can't show that to anybody. Like, don't ever show that to anyone ever again. Like, and so he's like, but when he got the movie, he said, I'm putting this in the movie. And he said, it's your movie. You do whatever the fuck you want, but you probably shouldn't. Like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. Don't ever say that again. You just got banned.
He just got shadow banned for talking about
being recognizable from the back.
It happens like
that. It's against community standards on Big East Energy is what happened.
Right.
That's right. It doesn't meet compliance.
It doesn't. Sorry. All right, boys. Well, listen, I think we've talked quite a bit. I'd love that. Honestly, our audience has grown as we've gone longer, so it's up to you guys how long you want to stay on. I don't give a shit. Like I'm just chilling. What do you guys think?
I don't got much more to talk about, but if you guys want to hang around, I'm hanging around.
I'll leave it up to you, Coop.
I think I got to call it a night, man. But hey,
man,
to sum it up, the season's over. Xavier lost 93-68, but the season wasn't surprising. It was frustrating. It was disappointing, but We're optimistic.
The off season starts today.
That's right.
Yes, and I know you don't. I know in your heart of hearts you will not be rooting for UConn, but you will be rooting for me to be happy. So in essence, you kind of are. So I'm sorry.
I gotta
think
say,
it's
I don't know. Like, I don't even know who I'm at this point now. You know who I'm rooting for? And this isn't Big East tournament. I'm rooting for freaking Nebraska because of my brother-in-law. He is like, dude, is it not before we get off here, is it not the most insane thing you've ever heard that Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament game?
Wild, yeah.
I can't comprehend that.
Eastern
Michigan's won an NCAA. Lehigh's won an NCAA championship game.
Well, what's so funny is you should tell your brother this. Because I know UConn fans have shit on Nebraska lately because they tweeted out about it being the basketball capital of the world, and now UConn has that trademarked. And fucking some UConn fan was like, I think you're like 5-5 since you tweeted that out, so you should probably never say that again.
Right.
just thought that was something relevant since you brought that up.
Dude, whatever. My sister married into a big Nebraska family. They met in Minnesota, and they eat, breathe, and sleep fucking corn huskers. Yeah, they literally do, dude. Corn, 100%.
Corn,
I love it.
That's right.
Corn with a C or corn with a K? Oh yeah. No, sorry. Coop, who are you rooting for now that Xavier is out?
So we talking all of the NCAA?
Whatever you want.
So in all of the NCAA, I want to bring this up. It's in the chat somewhere. I don't want to scroll all the way back to try to find it. There it is. MDK says, "Do you guys think Miami is in?" Okay, here's the thing. Everyone's talking about it. Is Miami in? Are they out? Are they first four? Whatever. Miami went 25-7 this year. They beat Louisville in the ACC tournament.
I think he's talking about Miami, Ohio.
Miami, the Hurricanes. Yes, they are in. They're definitely in. I'm tired
of doing
about
a weird
He's doing a bit. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he's doing a whole thing.
See, I'm the guy who can't tell and I old and come on, Coop. That's the problem.
Yeah, no. If I do have to pick a team to root for, though, if Miami of Ohio gets in, I'm rooting for them. Shout out Travis Steele. I want to see Travis Steele happy.
I always have a. It's terrible because they're a 1 seed, but it's not Duke. I can tell you that. But listen, since I was a kid, the cool colors and the cool team has always been Michigan. And if UConn loses early, sorry, Coop. When I was a kid, Fab 5 came out. That was the shit. I don't give a shit about your Ohio State fandom. Not one bit, actually.
I thought you were gonna say Carolina, the cool colors.
Fuck Carolina. No.
That's way cool.
Why? I love the color because
Carolina blue is much better than maize and
no, I don't disagree. But when you grow up in the time that I grew up, and you had 5 freshmen that never happened. Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Chris Jackson, that group was fucking amazing. And of course, you wanted them to kick the shit out of Duke, and how corny that team was that ended up winning the national championship, right? So come on, you can give me a pass on that. I'm not saying I'm rooting for Michigan. I just love that old school. They won the other day against Michigan State, that old school M. That whatever that is. But yeah, also my high school was the Spartans. I don't like Michigan State at all. But I might have gotten a Michigan State Spartans pair of shorts because it just says Spartans on it from homefieldapparel.com. Check them out. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me when UConn doesn't win, who to root for. I usually just root for upsets. If UConn's not winning, whoever the lower seed is, I'm fuck it. Just chaos. That's kind of what I root for.
Yep. Just the Miami question real quick. I think that the arguments about all of this are pretty funny to me because do I think they should get in? Absolutely. And the argument is well, what if the 10th best team in the SEC, don't you think that they're a better team? Most likely, yes, they're a better team than Miami of Ohio. What Miami of Ohio did in the regular season, I think they deserve to be in. But it doesn't matter if you put in Miami of Ohio or if you put in Mississippi State. Neither one of them have a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
So let Miami in. What they did is so crazy. Give them a chance to go play in the tournament. And I don't care if they lose by 40.
Yeah, and you know this, like it's I hate when people say this isn't the college football playoff or like the BCS game where it's like we need to have the best 2 teams in. This is a playoff. So if you earn your way into a tournament or like the national invitation, it's the NCAA tournament. It's by invitation. So you don't just you don't earn it. You don't like get it because you play in a better conference. You have to earn it through winning, not through playing tough games. Like that's the whole like simulation shit. Just because if you did, and I love evanmia.com, you should check it out. Great site. But I'm sure if you took Miami versus, the top 12 teams against the SEC, Miami probably only wins 2 of 80 simulations. But who fucking cares? That's not the point of the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament is upsets, March Madness, best teams that have done it by winning games. And we have to start giving teams that have excellent records a better chance than giving teams that have mediocre, accepting mediocrity just because they have a bigger brand or because their coach is bigger. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You're going to try to tell me that, like, if you put them in the first 4, like, anyone's going to give a shit? Like, whatever it is.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Just let them in the
give them a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So.
I don't know. It annoys me that people think that they shouldn't be in. Because it's just like, dude, okay, maybe they're the 100th best team in the country. But at this point, there's like maybe 5 teams that have a chance that can actually win a title. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, and listen,
doesn't matter.
But that doesn't matter because guess what? 2 weeks ago, everyone was like, this is the Duke Invitational. Then they lose Caleb Foster for the year, and their backup center is in a boot. And then FSU almost beats them in the first round of the ACC tournament. So fucking anything can happen. That's the whole point. Put them in, give them a 9 seed, a 10 seed, a 12 seed, whatever. Maybe they make a fucking run. Maybe they go fuck you and they pull a VCU and they're in the Final Four. Cool. Do it. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, like, you can't keep teams out because you're trying to, make Bruce Pearl happy. All right. Fuck Bruce Pearl. That's that's the first and foremost.
FBP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good to end on that one. I'm sure we'll clip that, and then I'll meet Bruce Pearl at the Final Four and be like, "Did you tell me to fuck myself?" I'll be like, "I did." Yeah. That's why we're buddies.
Yeah. Right.
It was a bit. We were doing a bit.
It's a bit, dude.
Yeah. How many hours?
Oh God, Coop,
Coop, did you do your comedy stand up yet,
bro? Did you?
No, I have not. It will be sometime in the month of June, I believe.
Oh, okay. I think it might be in the month of April when we're in.
It might be in central Indiana. We'll have to see.
I think it might be the first couple of days when we're there and we don't have much to do at night. We might have to go and find a comedy club to because I'll go up with you. I'll do 5 minutes or whatever they give for open mic.
I will not. I'll laugh.
You could be there.
I'll be there for sure. I'll go and laugh 100%. I'll be a hype man.
Company retreat. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, it's been real. Hour and 7 minutes in.
Love it.
Hey, let's just. I guess now we're just college basketball fans.
Kenny,
you
maybe
guys.
One more time this season, Kenny. We need 2 more words.
Stay blobbing.
Stay blobbing, boys. I appreciate you guys being a part of this, and hopefully we can see you down the road. Maybe the Big East title is next year is Xavier UConn. That would be wild to be at the game.
That would be nice. I'll be there for sure.
Oh, me too.
I already got the tickets.
We'll see if Coop is there. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Depends on if he does comedy in Indianapolis. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's right.
Peace.
See ya.